This is Abe Friedtanzer from Awards Buzz, and I'm very pleased to be speaking with Jane Addams about hacks. How are you, Jane?
I'm really good. Thank you, Abe.
Wonderful. Can you tell me what your relationship has been with hacks since it first started?
It's a great relationship. I just heard, it was years ago. I remember hearing, they want you to come in and play uh, Hannah Einbinder's mom in this new show, Hacks, with Jean Smart. And I thought, oh, how great. And then I went in and it was a great experience. It was really fun. And it's just been more and more fun every season to show up and laugh with these guys. So,
Were you familiar with Hannah before this?
no, we just met the first day we were shooting. It was one of those things, the first season where hi, nice to meet you. And then we're being mother and daughter.
Nina is definitely very eccentric. What do you like about the character?
Oh, aren't eccentric characters more fun? They're just more fun. Uh, yeah, I it's the way they write her. It's a pleasure to play this part. And I
And you
love
don't,
working with Hannah. I mean, Hannah is really good, isn't she? Like,
yeah.
have you watched this season?
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's just so compelling and so funny at the same time. I don't know how she does it. She just and what a joy she is to work with. I always say to her, we'll be shooting a scene or something and then we'll have a break and then we reconvene and if if I have to go have a fitting or she's doing something and we can't just keep talking and laughing, we have to sort of separate and then come back to each other. And I always say to her, it's always like, oh, so happy to see you again. She's just a bright light.
He's great. You don't get to interact with that many members of the ensemble, but you've gotten the chance to
No,
share some
yeah,
scenes with
exactly.
Jean.
Yes, and Jean is so great too. Yeah, of course. But yeah, we haven't worked as closely as Hannah and I. Yeah.
Do you keep up with the show when you're not on it, so that when you come back for a guest spot, you know what's happening?
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I love watching the show. It's so smart and funny, for real. Like, and I love working with Lucia and Paul and Jen as well, for sure. And they give me this great stuff and they're just so supportive on set too, which is lovely. We have a good time.
What can you share about your appearance this in season three? What was that episode like for you?
What was it like? It was very fun shooting at the airport scene, you know, the, and then you know, it's just very fun. So, when you're working on hacks, you're sitting around with all these really funny, smart people in between takes. So it's a joy. And Jay Smith Cameron and I used to know each other in New York City when we were in our 20s. So, and we met at the Eugene O'Neill Theater Conference, the National Playwrights Conference. That's where Jay and I first met. So, and we were both in our 20s. So it's really great to be like I just turned 60 and it was really fun to see Jay again and work with her too. So and she's so brilliant. I mean, seriously, it's like I always say to Paul and Lucia, working on Hacks is, in this capacity as a guest star, it's like they keep inviting me to this great party. And I'm just always so grateful, like, thanks for inviting me.
I would love to see more of you on the show, but I also feel like having too much Nina
Oh yeah.
around wouldn't be good for
Yeah, a
anybody.
little Nina's good. Just a little Nina. You don't want to go live with your mother. It's a bad idea. It's a nice
Well,
place to visit as an adult, but
is there anything more you'd like to, delve into about her if you
wait,
had
I
the chance
just
to
should
return?
say there's nothing wrong with living with your mother. So in case anybody's watching this thinking, what do you mean? I shouldn't have said that. I'm sure that there are very many people having a great time with their mom. I do think moms get a bad rap.
Well, I think Ava's also going through her own stuff that, that's not, it's a sort of toxic combination, if not in small doses.
Yeah. So what
So
else would you like to know?
What would you like to know? What would you like to know about her? What do you think we still haven't seen of Nina that you'd love to delve into in a future episode?
Honestly, I'm in such good hands. I really feel like I said this to somebody the other day, and I meant it in an interview. Um, it, it I don't really think about it too much because they do the thinking for me, Paul and Lucia and Jen, and they come up with this great stuff. So it's kind of like you don't want to, I don't even want to ask, I just wait because it's kind of like you don't want to go shaking the Christmas presents and try and guess. It's like, no, I'll just open it. I'll just open it and see what these really funny, smart people gave me this year.
And you've been nominated for Emmys for both seasons of the show so far. And last year, you were in great company with all these other actresses from Hacks. What is it like to have so many? They're not really co-stars because you didn't actually co-star with them, but what is that
Yeah.
experience and emotion
I
like?
I think it's just, again, it's like I don't mean to keep using the same metaphor, but the party thing or analogy, is it metaphor or analogy? Whichever. The the party thing, like it's just a really fun, it's great company. It's a great company they put together.
Well, as soon as I first saw you on Hacks and when I knew I would be doing this interview, I go back to a show called Hung that I wish more people kept talking about these days. I feel like that sort of faded into obscurity, but it was such a really cool show that I think would
Yeah, that was a
probably do
good.
even better now than it did then.
Probably, but you never know, like things. Isn't it funny, like what makes something? I mean, we did 3 seasons and it was a very successful show for HBO. I was talking about it with Casey Bloys when we went to Cannes for the Idol, but we were reminiscing about the Hung days. But yeah, that was very fun for me. That was a great part. And Alexander Payne, I'll always be grateful to him for casting me in that.
I also really enjoyed Sneaky Pete, and I love that you showed up midway through just to make because that is such a twisty, really cool premise. What memories do you have from that show?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked because I loved working with Giovanni Ribisi. Like we had such a good time and we had some really great laughs. We had all those scenes in a car at one point. I honestly can't remember now what the story was, but there were about four of us in a car or three of us, and we were listening to heavy metal music between takes and just kind of having a great time. We were way out in the country. We were shooting at a farm and it was just a really fun time. That's what I remember. And I was knitting a lot. Like I remember knitting this giant red, white, and blue scarf.
You just mentioned The Idol. What was that like, premiering at Cannes and just the whole I
I
don't know
had
that
a
that's
great time on that show and I love Sam and everybody. Like what a great time. So, and Abel and everybody. And
what's
Lily
next for you?
Rose is so
Yeah,
great.
she's great.
She's so smart and funny. So,
What else do you have coming up?
I'm working on, I don't know if, am I supposed to talk about other network stuff?
You as long as
Like,
you're
can
allowed, I
I
wouldn't say
say
anything.
the word Hulu? Can I even?
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm working on a show called, I think the working title right now is called Orphan. We'll see. I kind of don't want to say too much about it, but I'm having a really good time on that as well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we love awards here at Awards Buds, and I'm curious if you've been watching anything recently that you feel a show or performance is particularly awards worthy.
Oh, an awards worthy show. You know what's interesting? I haven't been watching that much because I watch so much true crime on YouTube. I watch one of my favorite YouTube channels is it's called Explore with Us. That's I wish I could say I haven't that I just I've gone I think in another life if I had it to do over again I would be a homicide detective. So that's
Have
it.
you have you found any true crime shows that are as exciting as this YouTube pursuit, or not really?
Uh Not really. I kind of love the raw interrogation footage and the raw police body cam footage, that no one's really overproduced.
Interesting.
This has
Well,
nothing to do with facts, but
no, that's okay. That's
no, it's
okay. Well,
okay.
well,
Yeah.
obviously, again, you've done so much great stuff, and I think you're a very small but wonderful part of Hacks. So it's nice to know, the larger you and what you enjoy doing and
Yes.
consuming.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, no, I do. Do you watch true crime at all?
I just watched Based on a True Story, which is a true crime series in some respects.
Which network is that? Where can I watch that?
That one is on Peacock.
Did you love it?
It was
Should I
very
watch
interesting.
it? You'd recommend
Kaylee
it?
Cuoco, who was going to be on the channel, also. She's great.
Oh, I know what I would recommend. The documentary series, I think it was from last year. Maybe you can tell me. It was The Curious Case of Natalia Grace, because that's what I'm working on now is a fictionalized twist on that real life story. Did you watch that one at all?
Didn't
Oh,
know.
I highly recommend to you then. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a
Well,
trip.
I will make time to check it out, and I will keep an eye out for your future projects and hopefully an appearance in season 4 of Hacks.
Thank you so much. Thanks. It was lovely meeting you. Have a beautiful day.